Hamburger Hamlet, or The Hamlet, was a chain of restaurants based in Los Angeles, California that opened in 1950 and closed in 2018. Harry Lewis was playing the milkman and street scene at the Pasadena Playhouse. Marilyn made it her business to make his acquaintance. Lewis had been working steadily at the time as a contract actor for Warner Brothers, performing alongside the likes of Humphrey Bogart and Edward G. Robinson, most notably in the 1948 film noir Key Largo. But on their very first date, Lewis confessed that he had a different dream, a restaurant, one that catered to actors after a long day on the set and served up homey fare. That night, the couple began scouting possible locations. The two launched their first restaurant on the corner of Hilldale Avenue and Sunset Boulevard in 1950, before they were even married. The brainchild of actor Harry Lewis and his soon-to-be wife Marilyn, Hamburger Hamlet opened its first location, smack dab on the Sunset Strip in 1950, a boon time for Los Angeles restaurants in the entertainment industry. They opened the first one with all of their savings, about $300 to $3,500. That opening was just before Halloween of 1950, and when they were about to open the doors, they discovered they couldn't cook. The gas hadn't been turned on, and they were so tapped out that they couldn't afford to pay the deposit, and couldn't afford to not open on schedule. Marilyn got in touch with a gas man and struck an under-the-table bargain. If he'd come over and turn them on anyway, he could eat there for free as long as they were in business. He did both of those things. Lewis named the restaurant Hamlet in honor of the famous character in Shakespeare's play. The original idea was to open an actor's hangout, but the place quickly caught on with folks of all different vocations, and other outlets quickly followed. The Hamlet soon came to symbolize old Hollywood glamour, with a clientele to match. There once was a celebrity hangout in Los Angeles that was as famous as the stars who sidled up to its bar. Ronald Reagan was known to stop by, in addition to Elizabeth Taylor, Sammy Davis Jr., Tony Curtis, Alfred Hitchcock, Lana Turner, Lucille Ball, Dean Martin, all friends from Lewis's days in Hollywood. People would roll from table to table and hobnob. The Hamlet was known for its signature red leather seats, tufted booths, and wood paneling. The spot became a hip hangout for teenagers who pulled up to the tiny spot on Sunset Boulevard for burgers and coffee. A young Leonard Nimoy hung out there with his crew called The Group, whose members also included TV stars Nick the Rebel Adams and Frank Bank. It wasn't uncommon to see Betty Davis chain smoking in the tap room, or Frank Sinatra taking a meeting with his publicist. The Hamburger Hamlet also catered to families looking for a menu that would make the kids happy, and it held appeal for mom and dad too. It wasn't a fine dining restaurant or a members-only club. It was a family-friendly spot that specialized in a humble American classic, the hamburger. In fact, celebrities and customers alike could order bacon cheeseburgers, cheeky sides, and a stiff martini. The Hamlet topped its hot beef sandwiches with everything from Russian dressing to sautéed mushrooms to even baked beans. All considered exotic additions during its heyday in the 1960s and 1970s. The Maryland burger, named for the owner Lewis, came with avocado, lettuce, tomato, and Monterey Jack cheese. The menu, which featured about 15 different burgers, implored customers to eat the sides, I pray you, and included a selection of salads worth a mention. Among the sides were little fried onions and those potatoes, which were essentially hash browns with sour cream. According to Allison Martino in her article Vintage Los Angeles, an order of zirkles, fried zucchini circles served with an apricot dipping sauce, could be spotted on every table. In an era when putting bacon and cheese on a burger was considered a luxuriantly deluxe, Hamburger Hamlet topped its burger with guacamole, baked beans, and marinara sauce. They served a burger with jalapenos on garlic toast. The Emperor Henry IV burger came with ham, bacon, and Russian dressing. As far back as 1977, the restaurant was even serving a bunless burger for those carb-conscious customers. The Lewises took Hamburger Hamlet public in 1969. The chain would eventually spread across the country, with restaurants as far as Chicago and Washington, D.C. They would have as many as 24 restaurants. At its height, the Hamburger Hamlet was one of the most recognizable burger chains in all of Los Angeles. In 1987, the Lewises sold the company to a New York investment firm for $33 million. In 1991, the Hamburger Hamlet sold 2.5 million shares to finance a misguided expansion. By 1995, Hamburger Hamlet closed a third of its locations, which numbered by that time around 16 or so. In 1997, the business essentially was bankrupt. The remaining investors unloaded 14 individual locations to fast casual chicken outfit, Kukuru, for only $11.5 million in 1997. Various other locations began to close in the following years as an aging clientele moved on and younger LA diners sought out bold new restaurant options beyond the humble hamburger. In 2011, the original location on Sunset Boulevard near the Whiskey A Go Go would close. In 2014, the dual locations, one in Washington, D.C. and the other in Pasadena, closed. Both founders, Harry Lewis, would pass away at the age of 93 in 2013, followed by Marilyn Lewis in 2017 at the age of 87. The chain had slowly lost its luster, never regaining its Hollywood heyday. The last operating Hamburger Hamlet left in the Los Angeles area was at 4419 Van Nuys Boulevard in Sherman Oaks, and that location closed in 2018. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.